been a couple months since I've made a Scrappy Bear, and I thought it would be fun to revisit our Scrappy Bear series and make a new Scrappy Bear. Hey, it's Tammy, Crafty Mompreneur. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. It's Scrappy Bear Saturday, and I just totally made that up because this video is scheduled to go out on Saturday, and I thought it would be fun to revisit our Scrappy Bear series. I think it's been a couple months since I've made a Scrappy Bear. Let me refresh your memory. This is the most recent Scrappy Bear I think I did. What I've been doing the last couple times is taking a skein of this patchwork yarn and just crocheting straight through the skein. But that's not what we're gonna do today. I have taken some of your guys' comments. I'll have to look them up. There were a few suggestions on some different ways that I could use this yarn. Someone suggested maybe taking apart all the colors and then doing it that way. Someone else suggested doing different body parts with different colors. And there were several other little ideas that we could do rather than just crochet through the whole skein. And the reason why we're changing it up and we're not going to be crocheting through the whole skein is because, for example, I still think this bear is cute, but what I don't love is how I didn't get the detail on the bottom where the bottom of the bear's foot is a different color. And you can just tell that where the skein of yarn like changed colors. And so I'd like a little more definition to where there's supposed to be different colors on the bear. Another area is here on the snout. The snout is supposed to be like one color and then go to the back of the head. I would like the ears to be different colors. There is just something about when you crochet through a whole skein of yarn that I don't love. Now, do I still think the bear is cute? Yes, I do. And one of the ones that I have done this way has sold. I don't regret my decision at all to crochet through the skein, but I'm gonna try it this new way for this one and then see how it turns out. I did decide to use this skein of yarn because of yellow, and this is the month that, crochet color challenge of the month is yellow. So I thought this one was perfect. What I've decided to do instead is still crochet, straight through the skein of yarn. But whenever I get to one of those points in the pattern where there's supposed to be a color change, I'm gonna change the body part that I'm working on. So as an example, let's say I'm working on the leg, and I start and I crochet this bottom part, and it's still the same color. Then I'm going to pick a new body part from my bowl and just kind of cut my yarn off and start somewhere else, and crochet through that way, because that's just how I want to do it this time and see how it turns out. What I'm going to do is I have broken up this pattern into different body parts. Each of them is on like a sheet of paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those pieces of paper and kind of just pull from the bowl, and we're going to go ahead and get started on this Scrappy Bear. I have all the body parts in this bowl, and we're just going to go ahead and pick from the bowl. And I use the Ribbler version of the pattern. See how the foot here is like a different color than the leg, and like on this, when I did it this way, it just became all the same color. So I really want that definition of color. So that's really the reason why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so we're gonna pick from the bowl, and hopefully it'll be something that we can start with. Let's go here. All right, the snout, which actually works perfect because that's where you have, I was kind of hoping we wouldn't get the head, and how would we crochet the head without doing the snout? So we are gonna go ahead and crochet the snout. So let's see what color we're going to be starting with. And it looks like we will start with yellow, which is kind of funny since, the color challenge of the month is yellow, so let's get started. It's been a while since I made one of these, so let's get this snout going. Snout or muzzle. I mean, it's called a muzzle. What am I talking about? I do like to use a piece of yarn to mark the end of my row, but that's just me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and come back when I get to a color change. Okay, I came to my first color change, but I'm not done with the snout yet, so I'm just gonna keep going and we will change when I'm done with the snout or muzzle, whatever it's called. Snout, muzzle, same thing. So I am at the point in the pattern where it tells me to change colors. And since we are still using this fluorescent green, I am going to just cut the yarn here and set this aside. And we will continue this part when we get the head and a different color. So what I'm gonna do now is pick a new body part. And if it's the head, I'm putting it back, just so you know. Okay, we're gonna make one ear with this color. Finish this ear. I changed it a little bit at the end, but that's okay. Now see, if I was to continue and make the other ear, they would both be the same color, and I don't want that. So we are going to just mark off one ear being done. So ear number one is done. I'm gonna leave this out because I still need to make one more. And we're gonna pick a new body part to continue on with this green. All right, we'll go ahead and make one of the arms in this color. I go ahead and do this arm, and then I will come back on if there's a color change before the arm is done. Otherwise, it'll be when the arm is done. So I'll see you back in just a second. So I just saw that I am getting blue next. So our arm will be a two-toned arm. So let's see what that's gonna look like here. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more rounds before I am done with the arm. So it's not gonna have that much blue on it, but we shall see what happens. I do think I'm gonna like the way this bear turns out a little bit more than the other one, just since the colors will be a little bit more defined. All right, here's where we're gonna get some blue. That's what that color change looks like, and I'll be back when the arm is done. Here is the arm. It is all done, and it's time to pick another body part. How about we do the head? Yes, I can do the head because we're at a different color. Right now, we've got blue. So we will start on the head, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just mark off one of these arms, and this one will go back into the bin. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and continue on here with the head in this blue. My only fear is that we start and we get this color again. That would be the only thing, but I guess that's the luck of the draw, so we will just see what comes next. Let me scroll back up here on Ribbler to the head and continue on. I will check in periodically as I go through this. Whenever there is a new color, I will jump back on, and otherwise I'll show you what the head looks like when it's done. Okay, we're coming up on our next color change, so we'll go ahead and see what that's gonna look like. So now I guess we're gonna do orange. So we got a few rounds of the blue before we have to change, so I will continue working and we will see how this goes. So far, I mean, it's looking pretty good, I think. Well, I barely got through that round and it's already changing to this yellow, so I don't know. This head is going to be very multicolored, so should be interesting, I guess. Let's just see what this is going to look like. Oh wait, I think I was supposed to increase one around here somewhere. Oh no, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think I might have been one off, but now I'm going to have to go back and count. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's just do this. This, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see what this is going to look like. So many colors. Interesting. All right, I'll let you know when we have another color change. Okay, so we are coming up on another color change. This is going to be a very colorful head, I will say that. So let's see what this one looks like. Green. I think I still have a couple more rows of this before I start to decrease and put the eyes in and everything, but this is what it's gonna look like. I think I am gonna like it better though than that there won't be two exact things next to each other. Because if you look at this bear, the legs, like I made it just one and then the other. And so that's how that, and then the same happened with the arm. Like it was half of an arm and then the whole other arm was that. And then the face also didn't love how this just was all orange like that. So, and the ears also, everything. Okay, I am liking this better. Okay, I'll be back with the next color change. We're not at a color change, but I do have to put in the eyes right now. So we're gonna go ahead and stuff this little nose a little bit and take a look at how it's turning out. The color change down here is the bottom. So we're gonna stuff this in there and place the eyes. I always just like to look at other ones. Okay, there's the bottom. let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's supposed to go between 7 and 8. Why do I feel like that's too close? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should go right here along this orange. With how many? 8 in between. That will be the eyes. I don't know if that's 8. I feel like I need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna just count on my other one. Yeah, I think we're good. Here is the head all complete. The yarn ended on green, so I'll do face shaping on this at the end before I assemble. So we need to pick another body part. So the head is done. I'm gonna put the ears back in there and the snout is done. So let's put this back. And pick the next thing. All right, we're gonna do the tail. All right, let's find the tail. All right, I will come back when there is a color change and or when the tail is done. All right, I have 2 more rounds of this tail and it looks like we're getting yellow. So thought I would show you guys this color change. All right, here it is, changing to yellow. This is a decrease round. I don't even know that you're going to see this yellow when it's on the body, but did I do 3? Oh my gosh, where am I? Oh my gosh, I have to redo this. Lost my count. Try this again. All right, I have 1 more round and I will come back when it's done and it's time to pick a new body part. The tail is done. Looks like we are still on a yellow. So here's what we have so far. 1 arm, an ear, and the head. So all right, let's see what I get next. And hopefully it's not like the leg, because if it's the leg, I can't do the leg without doing the bottom of the leg. So let's see what this one is. Of course, it's the leg. All right, we're gonna keep this one out until I get the other one. All right, we're gonna do a big patch. All right, this is pretty easy. Pretty sure I will have enough to do the whole patch in yellow. All right, I will come back when I have this done. Okay, 1 big patch is done. I'm gonna leave this out because we are still on yellow and I don't want to have 2 yellow patches. So let's see what the next thing is. All right, it looks like we got the other arm, so let's make another arm in yellow, which will work good because our other arm is like a green color. So, and as always, if there's any change in the yarn, I'll be back. Okay, I finished the other arm, so this one is now done. And it turned out all yellow. So these are the two arms, which I'm happy with. I think they look good. Now it's time to pick another body part. All right, we get to do the other ear. Let's see. All right, I guess this is one ear. So I'm just seeing if I like the way that looks. I think so. Yellow ear it is. I will come back if there's color change or when the ear is done, as per usual. Okay, it's my first decision of what I need to do because this is the next color and it's the same as this ear. I'm just gonna see how far I get. I think it's gonna be too close and I don't want the ears the same. Okay, I have a decision to make. Here's the other ear. I still have 2 rows. And the ear is going to be half this color. So I think I'm going to go ahead and scratch this part because I really don't want the ears to be the same color. So this is me making an executive decision to do something else with this one because I don't want the ears to be the same. So let's leave this out and we are gonna repick. Yeah, we're gonna repick. All right, bottom of the foot. Okay, that'll work. So now I can put in this back in. And ears can go back in as well. All right, so we will do bottom of the foot and then probably have to repick here in just a little bit because that's not going to take very long. The legs. I only have to do a few rounds for the bottom of the feet. And so I'll be back real shortly to pick the next thing. Okay, so this is as far as I got. And I need to change to the leg color. So we're going to go ahead and just take that off and pick another one. And I can't pick the leg because I don't want this to be right next to that. And so hopefully I will get something other than the leg. I can't do ears because that's the same color. I can't do the leg. I can't do the leg. Okay, a big patch. What was the other color of the patch? Okay, I can do a big patch. Okay, I already did one of these. All right, I'm gonna do, okay, this is kind of turning into a little bit of a mess, but we got this, we got this. All right, I'm gonna do a big patch and then I'll figure all this out. Get rid of this green. This will be fast. Big patch. Okay, this is kind of turning into a little bit, oh geez, look. Okay, fine. Blue is coming up next. fine. Everything's fine. I can make this work. There's not going to be a lot of editing in this video. We're just going to go with it. This is going to be a multicolored patch, apparently, because we're changing to blue now. This is what happens when you don't like to make decisions. Things kind of turn into chaos. But I really like to take the guesswork or take out any decision. So I tend to find ways to just make things interesting, which this patch is interesting, right? We haven't gotten very much orange. There's like been no orange. This is all the orange that I've gotten. Hope we get some orange soon. All right, this patch is done. Now let's recap. All right, the two big patches are done. All right, so that goes away. The patches are done, the arms are done. Okay. All right, so we have a bottom of the foot, one ear, and the body. Wait, where's the body? I'm missing the body. Okay. I think I forgot to make one for the body. Okay, whoops. I'm gonna go make one for the body. So I just went back and looked at my clips and I did not make one for the body. So we're gonna just go ahead and add that in. So to recap, we still need to do a body, a small patch, one ear, one bottom of 1 foot, and 2 legs. That's where we're at. Okay, so where we're at. I think anything is fair game right now because the ears, yes, anything is fair game. So I am actually going, I don't know what's what. I'm just gonna pick one. What's this one? All right, we're gonna do the other ear. Okay, I got this, got this. I'll come back once this ear is done. Okay, we have the ear done. And here are the ears and what it's gonna look like so far. I think it's kind of cute. This will be face shaped. All right, okay. Moving right along, we're going to cross that off. Next up is time to pick more. We're at blue, so anything goes, I think. Okay, bottom of foot number 2. Guess we'll do that. All right, so I have like 2 legs and a body still left to make. And then I have to put it together, so, oh, and a small patch. But I have to go and figure out dinner. So if I crochet tonight, I will film but I will have to add voiceover because usually at night I film in my main room, like family room, and as you guys know, I don't really have a dedicated like craft room, desk, etc. So my commentary as I do this will probably have to be a voiceover, I think. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, I'm going to finish the bottom of this foot and see how much, let's see, what time is it? I have about 20 more minutes that I can crochet, and maybe I can get done. Probably not though. So I will still, I can't talk and crochet, clearly. But I'll still check in, you know, as I go. You know, the skein is getting smaller, so this is where we're at. And I will continue to check in with each thing. I'll keep you posted. Right now we're working on the bottom of the leg number 2. This is the bottom of the foot, and next color is orange, which we haven't seen in a while. So the bottoms of the feet are done. Now let's pick and see what is going to start with orange. Okay, I'm not looking. I promise I'm not looking. We're going to go with the small patch. That's fine. Not what I was picking, not what I wanted, but it's fine. This is like so fast. This is literally like the tiniest little thing. I better get orange again. Although the orange patch, the small patch goes on the head, so that works out good, actually. The universe does have my back for the little small patch. That's it. I'll leave a tail to sew it on. And the small patch is done. I think that'll be cute. I think it goes up here. Okay. All right. Last thing is a leg and a body. Which am I gonna get? A leg. Ooh. Now a decision has to be made. Do we like, I feel like I should put it on this one. Because, or wait. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think because I made this one first. I'm gonna make the executive decision that I put it on this one because I made this one first. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. All right, this one, the leg takes a while, so I will be back when the leg is done. Okay, I was just sitting here crocheting, and I was thinking that this is the very last thing, because once I'm done with this leg, I'll just be picking this one, which is the body, obviously, and then the last thing that I crochet will be the other leg. So I think I will either give an update later after all the pieces are done before I assemble, or it'll be when I'm done, because it's getting late here and I have to, not late, but I need to cook dinner, and I think people are going to start coming home from work, and I'm gonna have to, you know, do mom things instead of crochet things. So that's what I'm thinking. But just so you know, I'm gonna finish this leg, and then I'll show you when the color changes, but I just probably won't be able to talk. And then we'll do the body and then the other leg. And then all the parts will be done. So that is the plan for this Scrappy Bear. Okay, here's the leg, and I do have time to start the body because that's what this is. This last one is the body. So yeah, because this is the same color, I don't want to do the leg anyway, so it all works out. So this is what our yarn is looking like. Kind of fun. And I will be back with color changes. Pretty sure that we'll have a color change in the body. Pretty sure. Okay. After dinner, I sat down, watched some TV, and worked on the body, and the last leg had a couple color changes while I was sitting there, and ended up getting both of those pieces done. Totally forgot to take a clip of all the parts until early the next morning when I got up. Okay, so voiceover Tammy could not be talking at 5:30 in the morning while everybody was sleeping. So this is me doing the next step that I do when I'm making one of these bears, and that is to kind of lay it out and decide like where things go. So this is me just trying to figure out what goes where and how I'm going to lay it out. And as I'm doing this, I realize that I have a yellow patch, and that yellow patch is supposed to go on yellow. And when I realized this, I figured that I had some yarn left over, so I went ahead and made a blue patch to go in place of the yellow patch. So that is what you're seeing in these clips. Okay, it is now Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday. And I just got done assembling the Scrappy Bear. I showed you all the clips of me crocheting it, and I will say that doing it this way, when I have all the right, you know, things written down and I don't forget the body, right? It is, I think, a better way to do it because I do like how this one turned out. Maybe because I'm partial to greens, that I really like this color combination. The yarn was Bernat Blanket Patchwork, and the color was Citrus Stack. This is all I had left after completing the bear. I will say that I did go ahead and make a different colored patch because the body on this one turned out to be yellow, so we couldn't have a yellow patch on a yellow body. That would not have looked good. But it's another skein gone from my stash, which is excellent. And the moment you guys have been waiting for. So here is the Citrus Stack Scrappy Bear. I do like how this one turned out. Like, I don't know. It's kind of funny how the face worked out on this one, but I am glad that I have the color change right where it needs to go, right there at the snout, muzzle, snout, whatever it's called. And then I did, I think these are 18 millimeter eyes, I think. And then I did, can you tell? I did a tiny bit of face shaping just to bring the eyes in a little bit. And the patch on the back is the two-toned patch. And so yeah, I do like how this one turned out. Will I do another one this way? I do think that I like this way of doing it. So I'm not sure how often we're gonna do these Scrappy Bear series, but I'm gonna show you the rest of the patchwork yarn that I have. And in the comments, I would love for you guys to vote on which color you think I should do next. And I might put it up on a poll in the community page as well, as it gets closer to when I'm gonna do another one, because these may be like a once every other month kind of thing, just depending on my content calendar. Here are the 4 different patchwork yarns that I still have. This one is Fresh Laundry. There is a terrible glare, but okay. And this is what the colors look like. Next is Teal Dreams. And then here's the colors on a blanket. And then we have Ocean Waves, which is like all shades of blue. Ocean Waves. And here's the different shades. And then the last one that I have is Pastry Cream. And then there's the colors. So those are the 4 options that I have for my next Scrappy Bear. I'm gonna let you guys pick. I did also end up moving the patch on this Scrappy Bear that I had. So it was like way over here. So I did move that one a little bit. So it looks a little bit better. So yeah, 2 Scrappy Bears. Here they are side by side, so you can kind of get the feel for what they look like. So that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. Mentioned citrus. What did I just call it? No.